lying grounds. Blue guardians count the heart, lights and fury in the sky.
Expert, a Zoid that will stop the Zoids hurt, with potent radar to cut through any shroud. Gorhecks the Stegosaurus will be proud. Will be proud. Logical dosing form. Gorhecks will be a beacon in the storm. Though small and not well armed, he will yet serve. The Stegosaurus Zoid will be honored. Derived from the logical dosing form. Gorhecks will be a beacon in the storm. Though small and not well armed, he will yet serve. The Stegosaurus Use your 3D radar, scan Gorhecks. Swing your pistol fins with bow and a flex. In communication you have our text. Confound the Empire with radar complex. Dimetro done, maybe lies, but he won't win. His radar jamming can't stop your crystal fin. Disrupt their communications with wit. Don't stop till the Zenebus Empire quits. We never crush, we face our new foe. The Gyos Empire comes to bring the blow. Their dark spiner is the new radar light. But Gorhecks will burn through their jamming might. Use your 3D radar, scan Gorhecks. Swing your crystal fins with bow and a flex. In communication you have our text. Confound the Empire with radar complex. This new Zoid war we must not forget. Our enemy remains the strong radar threat. So deploy the Stegosaurus Zoid once more. Gorhecks with his crystal things we adore. Use your 3D radar and scan Gorhecks. Swing your crystal fins with bow and a flex. In communication you have our text. Confound the Empire with radar complex. Use your 3D radar and scan Gorhecks. Swing your crystal fins with bow and a flex. In communication you have our text. Confound the Empire with radar complex.